Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today for you I have a mighty game review of a story-based action type game. It is a noir game, kind of like a point-and-click action game from like the 90s, called Blues and Bullets. It is an independent game. It was the developer and publisher is a Crowd of Monsters. They used the Unity engine to develop the game. It was released in July of 2015. That is episode 1. And episode 2 was released in March of 2016. It was released for Windows, which actually what you're seeing footage here of, Xbox One, Mac OS, Lynx, and PlayStation 4. So let's get the boomer gear on here, folks, and we're going to dive on in here to Blues and Bullets. What I liked about it, what I disliked about it. Let's give you a little story of the game. First off, you are Elliot Ness. This is supposed to be after retirement, and you are helping Al Capone find his niece. Now, this is more or less very loosely based. It uses a lot of historical events, such as Elliot Ness going after Al Capone, the Untouchables, the whole 9 yards, and then there's a lot of fictional events. So I would say it's loosely based on Elliot Ness, and when I say loose, I mean Mia Khalifa loose. All that being said, it is an interesting game. The way they did it, they chose a more black and white film noir style, with the only color being that from red. And damn, the red looks good against that black and white. The sounds, in my opinion, are good. The direction of the story is very good. The music sets the mood. Now, one thing is when it comes to a game like this, the voice acting is absolutely fucking key, guys. And honestly, I think the voice acting is really good. Is it the most amazing voice acting I've ever heard? No, but it is still really freaking good. And actually, Milton, which is one of the people that kind of follow you around, I feel his voice acting really stands out, and how that character was written and everything else just really stands out in the game, and it made him, to me, an interesting character. I liked the direction that the story was going. It felt good, and even the set pieces themselves looked really good with your high-class, ritzy areas, with your more down-in-the-dump type of slums and your dark areas and all that type of stuff that you expect from your 1940s film noir, that your 1940s detective stories and stuff like that. The hard-boiled detective-type stories. Just I really enjoyed the environment of the game, and honestly, for some odd reason, to me, the black and white just takes the environment and actually cranks it to 11. I actually think they did a better job by picking the art style that they choose over using, say, a color set, going with the old 1940s black and white type set, with using red as a standout against that black and white, just to give you a little bit of color. Fire also stands out too, so there you get some yellows, oranges, and reds as well to go with the red that you do see. Now, the things I really disliked about the game, and this is my core dislike, and these are actually my core dislikes about the game. I mean, these were absolute turnoffs. One is the action set shooting galleries. I mean, they've been relevant about fucking never. I kind of wish they would have went with something else, but in the sense of a point and click action adventure type game like you get with like Blade Runner, it works. It's just nothing phenomenal. The movement speed, the walking speed was just horrendously slow. Like, holy crap. I didn't realize people actually walk that slow, but there's people that apparently walk that slow. The running speed is even worse. It's actually more like a jog. And okay, don't get me wrong, it's faster, but the animations just don't look as good, to be honest. One thing I can admit here too is one thing I found out is you just really can't fail. So to put something in perspective here, essentially what you get is when you're looking over a crime scene and collecting evidence, you gain clues. And then you go to the evidence board, you chain the clues together to figure out what happened, yada, yada, yada. And you literally can't put the wrong piece of evidence in the wrong slot. I know because I've tried a couple times on purpose.
Here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
So all I got to say is with that is, could you let me fail? Like there's quick button time action events as well in the game, and like you can't even, you can fail those, but what they do is it just takes you back to the beginning of that quick time event, so you're losing like no progress. There's the moments that even you can fail in, you really can't fail. There's no penalty for failure in this game. And I know because I purposely tried. You just cannot fail. That being said, is the game perfect? Fuck no. But you know what? Neither's the Glitcher 3, folks. And they didn't spend like pimps buying fur coats to create the game that they did. And honestly, for a game that was released in 2015, it's aged pretty well. No, it doesn't have the AAA sheen of, say, Space Marine that honestly, in my opinion, looks better than this. But it was a AAA game released in 2012. And these guys still really did a good job for having a really small budget. Now, Episode 1 and Episode 2 is on Steam. They're $5 each, folks. I do recommend it. It's a good game to, you know, just kind of blow off some steam, chill out, kind of go through a story. The only downfall is, and this is the biggest, like a major downfall for me, is I really don't know what happened to the development of this game. It was supposed to be 5 parts, and there's only 2. And from what I can tell, like the main website for A Crowd of Monsters is just gone. It just does not exist anymore. The Twitter is still there, but the last time they made an announcement was like late 2016, and they said that they were still developing Episode 3. It's now 2021, folks. I don't think this game's being developed anymore, unfortunately.
I don't think it'll be good, but go ahead.
And honestly, you know what? If it is, if anybody from Crowd of Monsters so happens to see this review, how about a third fucking episode? Like seriously, what's, or either that or just a statement of what's going on with the game. I mean, there was,
Absolutely. You can always
I
pick
just,
up
I
some
don't
extra
know what
information,
happened.
maybe a lead or
There's
two.
no indication
Tell
of
us
what
more
happened,
about
if there was some kind of breakdown in the studio because they had a lack of funding, if it was creative differences or anything like that.
We barely
There's
see
just
each other.
no information out there about what happened. There's a lot of speculation, including people speculating that they kind of just took the money and ran. Well, I mean, that being said, though, it was announced in advance that the game was going to be released episode-based, where it was going to, planned episodes was 1 through 5, that everybody, you're just going to have to pay for per episode, the whole 9 yards. So, I mean, even if they just decided to just roll the project up, that it wasn't worth it, you know, they still gave you what, they still gave people more or less what they said they were going to give us. It's just unfortunately they didn't give us the whole series, which would have been really nice. I like the direction that the game was going, and it is definitely unfortunate to actually see what seems like that this game has fallen flat on its face, or the development team fell on hard times or whatever. I honestly wish I knew what more of what had happened or what was going on. But guys, folks, all that being said, there's still 2 episodes out there, $10 to get them both. You can just buy like episode 1 for $5, and then episode 2 separately for another $5, whatever. So there you go, folks. I still felt it was worth it. Even though it was just the 2 episodes, I just wished there was going to be more coming our way for the game. Anyway, folks, that is my review of Blues and Bullets. I feel it's worth it if you're looking for this kind of game. Anyway, folks, hopefully you enjoyed my review. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have yourself a wonderful day.